Did you know if you drop a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, nothing will happen but it will put a giant smile on my face? Building is officially returning to Fortnite tomorrow on the 29th of March 2022, but perhaps in a way that nobody would have anticipated or expected. And speaking of no builds, if you enjoyed this era of Fortnite going into Chapter 3 Season 2, considering so many influencers are talking about it, it looks like this could be sane, and we've got all the information on builds, no builds, and so much more, perhaps even new builds later in the video, so stay tuned. And with this season being shorter than the rest, as it's already 11% complete with 68 days remaining, let's just say we're expecting 20.10 being the first update of Chapter 3 Season 2, which we're going to be discussing all the details for. I already know that sounds good to 99.9% of you, so make the decision now to stick around and watch the full video, as the average attention span is 8 seconds, so if you can make it until the end, you're incredibly special. And whilst you're doing that, if you want to go the extra mile, please take 2 seconds out of your day to enter code FM1 inside the item shop, as it's 100% free to do. Again, using code FM1 not only puts a giant smile on my face, but also cheers up my little pug Gus, as he's been kinda sad from discovering that 70% of all eyes on screen right now watching are not subscribed. So yeah, if you hit the big red button too, we're incredibly close, I'm just saying, to 2.4 million subscribers overall, and after all, this only benefits you, as I do give different subscribers every single day who simply, subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on, and commented their Epic Games ID down below and what they'd like to receive, so perhaps that could even be you in front of hundreds of thousands of eyes to see gifted in the very next video. But with all that said, now enough messing around, we need to go over the building update for Chapter 3 Season 2 and every other piece of content included within this when it arrives or just after, so make sure of course you don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere!
I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere!
Okay, so the first thing, as you can see in the gameplay of the background right now, or the trailer anyways, is the April crew pack trailer for a skin called Sayara, I think it's pronounced. Either way, how it's spelt is on screen right now. All the cosmetics for this, as you can see, are on screen right now that we learned about in the article that Fortnite published officially over on their verified Twitter first. And despite the fact we're going to be receiving this on March 31st at 7 PM Eastern Time anyways, which for my country anyways, the UK, is April 1st, I didn't want to initially talk about it first and foremost on April 1st, considering, you guys might have thought it was a troll. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this skin anyways. Are you going to be picking it up, keeping subscribed to the Fortnite crew, and most importantly, using code FM1 when doing so? I highly recommend it. Speaking of skins, however, what will be upcoming soon, rather so what is being teased currently by Epic Games, Sheena stated the following: Moon Knight collab coming soon. Epic Games and Disney invited some Fortnite content creators to a premiere event for the upcoming Moon Knight show, and reminded us about the fact that the same happened with June, and then a collab took place shortly after. And despite this being a very cool looking skin, of course, that I'd definitely like to see integrated into Fortnite, obviously that Epic Games have designed in their own Fortnite style or way, believe it or not, the collabs haven't just stopped there, as Sheena also tweeted out that this character from Assassin's Creed, I can't pronounce her name, I'm incredibly sorry, will be added to the game soon. With Moon Knight being a Marvel character, I'm guessing, he's of course going to be the Marvel series, but with this character from Assassin's Creed being from a game, it'll be a part of the Gaming Legends series, or kind of rarity. In terms of other content that Sheena says we're going to be expecting this week, as you can see, it firstly starts out with the content update, which I believe is going to be, well, the 29th of March, again when building is re-enabled in Fortnite, or perhaps even the day itself or after when you're watching this video, and he states content update, which could include either the Anvil rocket launcher or light machine gun being unvaulted. And for those that don't know firstly about the Anvil launcher, it's this javelin looking thing from Call of Duty, but obviously now in Fortnite in the background right now. It's a very indirect RPG, as you can see, all the stats for all the rarities are on screen right now, so feel free to pause the video and get a good look at these, but basically, once firing this or locking onto said target, the missile goes up in the air and then, lands down on said thing it's locked onto. In my personal opinion, this would have been way more useful with the no-build system, and obviously us only having tactical overshield to kind of shield us or have somewhat of a defense against the tanks. However, now with builds being re-enabled, of course, you might even be able to box the tanks in like a fish. I'm just saying. Either way, despite that on this list of content to expect this week, Sheena then follows up by stating the crew pack being decrypted and released, which we know again to be the Sayara skin, if that's how you pronounce it, the Super Styles, building returning to core playlist, a new starter pack, which is this one on screen right now being Zoe Clash, with all the cosmetics on screen too, and 600 V-Bucks that we get for spending the $5 or £4 to get this, being one of the best deal bundles starter packs in Fortnite. And last but not least, speaking of Gaming Legends related skins, Ezio will be coming back to the shop according to a Ubisoft employee, and we're going to be receiving a cool surprise, whatever that is. I guess we're yet to know. Something on this list that kind of caught my attention that I've been wondering about since the start start of the season in the bonus rewards section, as you can see, well, would be these superstars, but we currently haven't been revealed to them. Supposedly, according to Sheena, these superstars are going to be revealed in 3 days from now, but he doesn't think that's even possible unless Epic Games change something behind the scenes, as he's 99% sure that there will be no downtime update this week and that the superstars aren't even encrypted yet. For those that don't know what the superstars are, last season's example, we got the red version, the blue version, and the gold version of all of the Battle Pass skins, which, yes, will be the same tier system of 3 different variants of each Battle Pass skin this season. Of course, some are more desired than others, and for that reason, to get all of the bonus styles, every single selectable style for all of the Battle Pass skins unlocked, you'll have to reach level 200, and to start your journey on that process, a good way to level up fast right now, as we mentioned in yesterday's video to do with Clombos potentially returning, was to actually go over to either the battle bus with this permanent cow thing on the front, the cow ramming tool, or just simply get a car and apply one of these as a modification onto the front, and then, yeah, destroy many structures, as there's so many milestone quests right now that reward you with not only 7k XP for the first stage, but have multiple stages each, meaning, well, tons of XP. As we briefly touched on, no update happening this week, however, when we talked about the superstars. Speaking of updating themselves, or the 4 big patches we're going to be seeing this season, we actually, believe it or not, know how many patches there's going to be, or how many big updates there's going to be next season, according to this tweet on screen. 4 big ones this season until 20.40, and then next season, Chapter 3, Season 3, will go all the way from version 21 up to version 21.50. Of course, this begs the question for many people, will there be a downtime update tomorrow to add the builds back, or at the time of you watching this video, perhaps there's already been that day come around and you're yet to hop on Fortnite? Well, the answer is no. Building is already in Team Rumble and would only require a small hotfix or update in itself, not requiring downtime to actually, yeah, add back to all of the core-based game modes, being solos, duos, trios, and squads. And whilst we're on the topic of builds, as you can see in the thumbnail, there's this very odd-looking structure which I keep seeing all over YouTube, published by this guy, who actually managed to mod Fortnite, so it seems even on the Chapter 1 island, into not only allowing him to have these different types of builds which look insanely cool, but he seems to have mastered them already. I'll link the original video for this in the video description down below, and the guy's YouTube channel who posted it, because honestly it's absolutely insane. And let me know down below in the comments, considering Epic Games have innovated with not only experimenting taking out building, if you think in the future or would like to see them experiment with the different types of normal standard build structures either being changed or added to in the future, however far from now that may be. Whenever the 20.10 update is put onto the staging servers, however, meaning then it's upcoming in the next week or very soon, we know it's going to be a big update, as we're expecting a ton of content in terms of not only new cosmetics, map changes, but most importantly vehicles being a new transportation method, or one returning, the Ballers from Chapter 1 Season 8. As you can see from the tweet on screen, they're not only going to be returning according to Hypex, but are going to be buffed since we last saw them anyways, after getting nerfed due to the World Cup being an ongoing tournament and this giving players an unfair advantage. Despite these being able to fling us airborne, speaking of airborne vehicles too, the 7 helicopter is supposedly going to be the next thing that we can actually fund like the battle buses, so that players can then decide as a community how fast this inevitably comes to the game. And speaking of things that are 7 themed anyway, considering all the tanks around the map now belong to the Imagined Order, supposedly we're going to be seeing the 7 tanks looking like this implemented in the very near future, but I guess we'll have to see what update all of those vehicles come in. Speaking of things upcoming this season, rather so later than the next update, around halfway through, as you can see, this season's Coming Soon skin, which, yes, releases about 50% way through each season, is the Prowler skin. For those that don't know who Prowler is, he's a character from the Marvel Universe, and more specifically, Miles Morales, Spider-Man's uncle, in this version of it. This obviously explains why the Daily Bugle hasn't been vaulted, being a Spider-Man based location, with pictures in here basically teasing every skin that we've seen upcoming to do with Spider-Man, or variants of him and his girlfriend either being MJ or Mary Jane, and with all the webs around the map still, where, yeah, the mythic web shooters were initially claimed from, if not the Daily Bugle itself, out of these backpacks. Apparently these are going to be returning soon too. If or when this happens alongside the release of the Prowler skin, or the first unlockable date of which we can, yeah, unlock him in the first place anyways, many people are speculating that Miles Morales, considering Prowler is his uncle, will be coming to the game as a skin. To even further back this up, Donald Mustard at the start of this season, who loves teasing things, being the CCO of Epic Games, actually changed his banner, as you can see, to, well, Spider-Man. And despite Miles Morales potentially upcoming looking like this, would you guys like to see different variants that we still haven't yet seen of Spider-Man himself, whether it's the Andrew Garfield version, Tobey Maguire, or even the Iron Spider? Let me know down below in the comments, as this is definitely in the Marvel Universe and Epic Games could get rights to it. Speaking of the Marvel Universe too, despite you guys obviously knowing that Doctor Strange is a Marvel-based skin integrated into the Fortnite universe from, well, the Multiverse of Madness, of which is a film releasing on May 6th, 2022, with us knowing even before this season started that there was a comic book issue or series releasing called Fortnite x Marvel Marvel Zero War, with us being able to see all of these comic book art strips on screen right now. What if I told you guys that they've just recently released more pages or artwork for this, involving not only more Marvel characters but Fortnite characters too, even from our past, which are all the ones on screen right now, as you can see Firemonkey has provided. To stay up to date as more news spills in the world of Fortnite, subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any future uploads now, and drop a like on this one if you want to keep referring back to it or get the video out there to more people. Speaking of other uploads, videos, or your next destination now, make sure to interact or click on anything on screen, but most importantly, hopefully I can catch you. Yes, you the individual still watching, I can see you, but hopefully in that very next video I do post on the channel.